Hi guys, today I'm going to show you guys my UC application, the application I did the best on, my qualifications. I am still salty at Davis, but that's fine. So let's get on to it. I have to blur some information, obviously, and I'm also not going to be showing you guys the essays because I personally think that, not that I don't trust y'all, but if you read too many, other essays, then you'll inadvertently start, writing, those essays. And so, when I applied, I didn't read any other essays, but at the same time, I was pretty confident with my writing. So, okay, let's get started. Scrolling through all my personal information, I'm sure none of us need to know that. So, first onto the campuses and majors, you have to accept the UC values, okay. And then I was applying for fall 2021 as a freshman. And then the campuses I applied to every campus other than Merced and Riverside. I was originally not going to apply to Santa Cruz. My mom was like, let's make sure you get into college. And I was like, okay. Okay, for majors, you can just look at that. Yes. And then for UC San Diego, they have a college system, which I think is super cool. So this is how I ranked my colleges. In my opinion, for these colleges, I looked most at the GEs because each college have different GEs. So I just chose the one with I prioritized the ones that have the shortest writing thing, because I'm a STEM major. I don't want to do more writing, so yeah. Okay, in terms of academic history, I'm not going to show you my whole transcript, but I did get all A's in high school. In terms of grades, I had a 4.0 unweighted and a 4.6 weighted, but 4.6 was when I graduated. So when I applied for UCs, none of your senior grades are in yet, obviously. So I think I had a 4.53 while applying to colleges. Okay, in terms of SAT scores, I did put my SAT on here, but my round, it was test blind, so they didn't look at it. But I did get a 1550. In terms of AP exams, I took, let's see, how many did I take? I took 15 AP exams. Oh, never mind. I took 13 AP exams because I did not take Gov or Micro, but I put it on my application because I thought I was going to take it then, but then so I reported all my scores, mostly 5s other than French, which I got a 4. Of course, this has none of the senior year APs because we haven't taken them yet. Okay, in terms of activities, my best advice for activities is to, one, obviously prioritize your activities, put the most impressive one and the one you spent the most time on first. But basically for the descriptions, one, you should try to fill all the characters they give you. They don't give you that much, but you should, try to fill all the characters. And two, you should be as detail oriented as possible and also use verbs. Write it how you would write it on your resume. I think I did it pretty well in terms of packaging, because by senior year you can't do much to improve your application item wise, but what you can do is to package all your accomplishments into a nicely wrapped box, so when they look at it, they're like, oh yeah, they have this and they have that, we want them, I did not fill out every I think UC gives you, UC's application puts all the extracurricular activities and honors, awards and honors, in the same category. So I think they give you 20 slots to do it. I think I only had 11. Oh, never mind, I had 12. I had 12 awards and honors. And you can see at the end that they're all BS awards. I put AP Scholar with distinction, which is not even a thing anymore, and then academic block, which is just for my school. Honestly, put all the like PSAT commended scholar, like all of that near the end, because honestly they're probably not gonna read down there, but it's nice to just have some like buffer in case like they like accidentally skip one of your like actually like very good and very nice activities or honors. So I filled out 12 out of the 20 honors, and I still did pretty well, so don't feel pressured to like fill everything out. Okay, and then the personal insight questions. You choose 4 essays to write out of the 8 prompts they give you. And I'm pretty sure the last prompt is like open, like free for all. Like you can do anything for it. So let me just tell you which prompts I wrote stuff for. So I wrote 1, describe an example of your leadership experience in which you positively influenced others, helped resolve disputes, or contributed to group efforts over time. So this prompt is basically if like you have any leadership experience, put it on there, because honestly leadership experience is super important. If you have a big backpack and a small locker, you have to stuff your backpack into the locker. There's no other choice. So in terms of these prompts, honestly, you don't need to follow the prompts to the T. As long as your essay vaguely follows the prompt should give you inspiration on, oh, I want to know on these points. But after that, don't like follow the prompt like to the T. So I wrote that one. I wrote, every person has a creative side, and it could be expressed in many ways. Problem solving, original and innovative thinking, and artistically, to name a few. Describe how you express your creative side. So this is the essay I left to like 2 days before it was due. Not gonna lie, did have a panic attack during Thanksgiving break because I couldn't write this essay. This essay, I kind of talked about how like I personally think very uniquely. In these essays, you kind of have to just be like, I am cool, I am unique, I have these traits that you want. Like, you have to be confident in yourself. Obviously, don't be like egotistical, you still have to be humble, but at the same time, you have to brag. So you have to humble brag a bit, which I know is like a bad thing to do, but like, that's what you kind of have to do. I'll give you guys like some bullet points from my essays. Basically, I was like,
nobody likes the music I listen to, which is not really true. I just like the quirky music. Stream Zimzabim. So I was relating to how a lot of people like music for the lyrics or for like the beat, but I like it for, you know, like the music theory aspect of it, as in like, oh yeah, that's a tritone. That sounds like terrible, but somehow it works here, you know, like something like that. And then I was like, so I was like, with 10 years of play piano and study music theory. So basically I related my previous past experience, you know, you have to throw those in there, and was like, I applied the knowledge I've learned in these 10 years of piano to the daily music I was listening to. And it made me think, it made me analyze the music that was around me, and made me realize, oh, I don't like this because of this, and I like this because of this. And then I was like, I didn't like the music that was playing on the radio. I'm sorry, American pop. So I was like, I dived into the world of K-pop, and I was like, I love songs that broke the ceiling, like Zip Zop Bib, and then I segued into how I make unique metaphors for things. Basically, I was sad that, okay, this is a real life experience. Like this actually happened to me. I was like being sad. I was like watching like pre-debut videos, and I was like, these people are like 15 and they're like slaying, and they got into like a good ass company and like debuted as like damn like successful at like 15. Hi Ji-sung. Anyway, and I was like having this existential crisis because I didn't even know what I wanted to do in life. I still don't really know what to do in life. Anyway, so I was like, oh, like, why can't I be like them? Like, why can't I just, like, know what I want to do and, like, work towards that one goal? I feel like it'll be so much easier if I just, like, knew, like, what I wanted to do from the get-go. Like, you know those people who know their pre-med from, like, middle school? How? At the same time, I respect you, but at the same time, I have to question, like, how much thought you put into that, because pre-med... Okay, anyway. That was a tangent. Okay, basically, I was, like, lamenting over that. And then I realized that people are like Legos. That every person is like a unique pile of Lego blocks. And you all have different blocks from each other. Some might be more similar than others, but some might be different. If you keep trying to build in a way that someone else is building, you will create something that is not as good as the thing that they are building, because you don't have the same blocks. Instead, you should be using your blocks to make something that is uniquely you and the best that you yourself can do, because you have a unique set of blocks. But if you keep building in terms of them, you know how Lego blocks are like hard to pull apart sometimes, especially like the really tiny ones? Sometimes you will have flaws in your build. And sometimes you can't fix them. But at the same time, you can mold those flaws towards your perfect build. So that was the metaphor I was going for. I was like, you should be yourself, and like basically I was like, I see the world in a distinct perspective, and I will continue to be myself, blah, blah, blah. Very cheesy, but you know what? It worked.
Honestly, I really like that essay. I think it encapsulates some of my personality. Oh yeah, I figured out, like, the meaning of life. No, I didn't put it that way, because at the same time, you have to realize that the admissions officers that are reading your essays are, like, adults, or, like, young adults, or, like, old adults, like, of all ranges. And you yourself are, like, a 17, 16, 18-year-old, and you have not been through adulthood yet. You're not an adult. You're a teenager. So the admissions officers know that. The admissions officer, like, know that you have not figured out everything in life. But at the same time, they want to see, like, where you could be. So you cannot be immature in your essays, but at the same time, you can't be like, I figured out the meaning of life. I'm better than all of y'all. I know I'm a teenager, but, like, you know, I have reached enlightenment. Like, you can't be like that because, like, obviously they're older than you and they have more experience than you. Okay, moving on. Next essay I did was, think of an academic subject that inspires you. Describe how you furthered this interest inside or outside the classroom. So I think a lot of people write this essay about their major, but I didn't. Because, not gonna lie, I would have nothing to write if I wrote this about my major. Still not sure how I got in. So this one, I wrote about astronomy. I was always really into astronomy. I was talking about how, like, my brother and I, as children, were like, he wanted to be an astronaut, so I was like, I would be the one on the ground, like, helping him, because, like, I don't want to go to, oh my god, I'm, like, terrified of drowning, and, like, being without oxygen is, like, basically drowning. Anyway, that was so off topic. So I was, like, talking about that. I was talking about how, at school, we didn't learn that much about astronomy, so, like, as we started learning, like, other stuff, like, my love for astronomy kind of, like, faded because I didn't have time for it. And then I went to Cosmos for astrophysics, and then I was like, oh yeah, telescopes, Lick Observatory, yeah. And I was like, oh my god, yes. And then I was like, I channeled that newfound passion into Science Olympiad, because one of the events I did in Science Olympiad was astronomy. So I was like, damn, okay, like, I'm memorizing my DSOs, I'm downloading, like, 50 Wikipedia pages, you know? One day in quarantine, I went outside, like, at midnight, and I realized, like, I could actually see stars at night from my yard. I did not realize that, because I started my essay with, I looked up at the sky. I ended my essay with, I looked up at the sky yet again, and seen the stars that ignited my passion, or whatever. So, it's nice, like, essay tactic to, like, make it come full circle. So I just talked a lot about just, like, my passion in astronomy. And then, the last essay. Beyond what it was already shared in your application, what makes you believe you stand out as a strong candidate for admissions to the University of California? So this is actually my struggle essay. I don't know what Common App prompt I used, but it was the one that's, like, describe a bit deep I'm struggling right now. Okay. Describe a deep struggle you're going through, and, like, how that affected you, and how that, like, helped you grow. I think UC prompts have a prompt like this. It's like what deep challenge you went through, but the last part of the question didn't really apply to my challenge, because it was like, how did it academically affected you? So I think a lot of people let me tell you, a lot of people go like, I failed my math test. It was, like, the first time I failed at everything, bro. I got, like, a 99 in every other math test, but, like, this one, I got, like, a 76, and my life was over. But then I realized how, like, this doesn't affect me in the long run, and I stood up for myself. I got tutoring. I put my pride down. I got tutoring. I, like, studied for math like I never did, and I improved and still got an A in the class. So many people write that essay. Please don't write that essay. So this one, I talked about how I played soccer my whole life, but didn't really like it. Don't come at me, okay? Okay, anyway, so I just talked about how, like, because I was too afraid to say no to any authority figure, I never did anything that I wanted.
So I had another good metaphor here. I related my experience with soccer to coffee because, okay, have you seen coffee? Okay, everybody knows what coffee is. Have you smelled it and go like, oh my god, it smells so good, and then you like sip it and it's just like bitter as hell? Like, that's what it is. Like, soccer, it's like, for me, it was like so nice on paper and like so nice to play it sometimes, but at the same time, like when you actually go into it, when you play in a team, like I don't know why, couldn't vibe with any of my teammates. I just couldn't. No one got me, and then American soccer is like, and then I can't like do the, yeah, and then I was like, oh, it was terrible. Anyway.
So basically my whole essay was about how I finally like stood up for my own beliefs and was like, I don't like doing this whole elbowing, like yanking ponytails thing, and I would rather spend my time on something else. So I told my parents, I was like, I don't want to play soccer anymore. Not gonna lie, this was a lot harder in real life than I portrayed it in the essay. Because you don't have enough words to go like, I cried, they cried, something happened, and you don't have enough words. Okay, anyway.
Also, it's important that your challenge essay isn't about a sob story that you went through. It's about demonstrating your growth and how you learn from that event. It's not just to vent and tell the admissions officers, oh, poor me, you should feel bad for me. Yeah, don't do that.
So I was like, I finally figured out that, like, I did not like playing a sport competitively. And then it was like, I realized that it was okay. Like, and then I had a whole paragraph on what I learned from doing something I didn't really like. A particular exercise might remind me of clogged pores and lead me to wonder what acids could help unclog them. Yes, these are sentences that the AOs wrote and were like, yes, we want her. I still doubt to this day why I'm here. Okay. And then obviously I came full circle with my metaphor. I was like, I finally embraced my preference for tea. Coffee lovers, leave me and my boba alone. So those are all my essays, and that's it. That's the whole application. There is not that much to it. I'm just kidding. There's a lot of thought that went into this. I do have a website for college app advice. You can find it here. It will not stay up to date, by the way. So if you're watching this from like 3 years or 4 years from now, it's probably no longer relevant. So biggest takeaways, please be yourself in your essays, obviously. Show who you are as a personality, and make sure to show like some core values about yourself, your leadership, your maturity, or your growth. Definitely display your growth. Don't be like, oh, here's a sob story, like feel bad for me. Like, don't do that. You have to be like, here's what happened to me, and this is what I learned, or this is what I grew from it. And then package all your activities well. And don't feel pressured to fill out all 20 spots, because unless you are like the Ling Ling of college applications, you're not going to fill out all 20 spots. Because I didn't, and I'm here now in my bougie UCLA dorm. Good luck. I know this is hard. You will have some mental breakdowns. Honestly, if you have some mental breakdowns thinking about what you want to write for your essay, you're kind of on the right track. At the end of the day, these essays could actually help you a lot in even like discovering yourself, even in just like, this challenge has been resolved and I have learned from it and I'm over this hill now and on to the next one, you know? It's very nice. It's also kind of interesting to like put your personality down on a piece of paper. Like, obviously, like this is not all the aspects of your personality, but to have these like core pillars of your personality. It's like have you guys watched like Inside Out? You know how she has like 5 core memories? That's like kind of what you want to touch on these essays. Don't feel scared to like kick colleges off of your college list. Like, if you're writing that essay for like why this school, and then you realize your only motivation is that it's an Ivy League and it's in the city that you want to be in, Columbia, then just kick it off the list. Go like, I don't want to write this essay. I don't have any motivation to write this essay. I recycled my essays a lot. I think I only wrote like 11 unique essays, and then like 5 of those were like why college essays. So like, I didn't write that many essays at all, but maybe you're up to it. Anyways, that's all for today. Stay tuned for, I don't know what content, I mean, there's a lot of content I could make. Good luck with your college apps. I wish you all the best of luck. It's just getting harder every year. I swear, like, admissions percentages are like milk percentages now. It's just yikes. But like, good luck. Subscribe if you want to see whatever content I come up with. And yeah, see y'all next time. Goodbye.